All right, in today's video, what I want to talk to what I want to talk to you about is being a landlord and having Section 8 families in my properties. I think, in my opinion, it's definitely recession proof. I started out in the real estate game in the early 2000s, so I've been through all the economic downturns in the past 24 years. We've had so much going on with, of course, elections, which happens every 4 years, obviously. We had the COVID pandemic just recently, a few years ago. We had the 2008 crash. We had all these things that happened. But I can tell you, as me doing the buy and hold strategy, being a real estate investor and a landlord, one thing that has been consistent and predictable is me getting rent every single month. This is so key because if you don't have rent coming in, then that means you don't have a business. And this is on anything, like any type of business, you got to have cash flow, you got to have revenue, you got to have profits. And what's good about real estate investing, and when you're dealing with Section 8, um, I've learned it's a recession-proof business. As I stated earlier, I've been through all the economic ups and downs. And one thing that I can say consistent is me getting paid every single month. So many people hear the bad stuff about low-income housing, Section 8, and renting out to them. But the problem is a lot of them don't even know the system, and they don't know it well. So what I want to tell you is that in order to learn the game of real estate investing, learn from somebody that you can know, like, and trust, and is actually doing what you want to do and is successful at it. So my point that I'm making is I'm successful at it. I'm not trying to boast or brag. I'm just saying I've been doing it for a lot of years, and my bread and butter is Section 8. Now, here's what I want to make a point of. When it comes to Section 8, this is the best way to rent out your properties, and this is the best tenant base. I'm getting paid every single month, guaranteed through the government, have not missed any payments. Okay, this is so key. Again, if I'm not getting payments, then I would have foreclosed on all my homes. Here's another thing that people don't realize when it comes to low-income housing Section 8, and it's this. In some states, not in all states, but in most states, if you bring on a tenant that's on low-income housing Section 8, you can get something called a one-time signing bonus. That's right, a one-time signing bonus, and that varies from state to state. It's an incentive to bring low-income housing Section 8 family tenants into your properties because, it's hard for them to find properties out in the open market, and that's key. Here's another thing about low-income housing Section 8 now, and I've got to experience this as well. But I remember one time when my tenants, they weren't, sometimes what happens is they work a corporate America job and they get paid through Section 8. There's nothing illegal about it. But what happened was they were in the hospital, so they weren't able to make the payment. So they told me in advance what they were going through in the hospital, and all I was getting paid was a portion through the government. Excuse me. So here's what happened. With Section 8, what's good about it is they will support the tenant by saying, hey, look, if you can find any other programs out there, that would be good, and we'll still make the payments on our behalf on the government. And they will recommend other government programs out there that you can that the tenant can be linked to help them with their payments. Let me give you an example. Where I'm at in Texas, there's a company or an organization out here called Baker Ripley. Baker Ripley is an organization for those that are low income, going on hard times, and they provide sometimes shelter, but mainly they'll help you out on rent, and they also have like some medical and hospital clinics nearby that you can go to also if you fall under the low income bracket. The point is, even when Section 8 families cannot, pay their portion, they can always go to other organizations out there that help them and supplement them for what they can't do, so you can still get your full payment. Here's another organization that they can go to, and they don't have to be a member here, but they can go to any Catholic church in the community. That's right, any Catholic church. A lot of times Catholic churches will provide money for people that are low-income housing or even homeless, towards shelter, food, clothing. They're just historically known to be a giving organization, and they will help out for those in need. So I just named you two: Catholic churches and Baker Ripley. One more that I'll throw in there is this organization too, is United Way. That's organization that's been around for the longest time. Okay, but the point I want to make is there's organizations out there that'll supplement them, for their income. So just a key thing to remember. So I just tell people, just get an understanding of how Section 8 works, and you'll find out that it's actually the best way to rent your properties out. And one more key note I want to make too is, whether my tenants are on low-income housing or not, which most of them are, you still need to screen your tenants, okay? So most of my tenants are on Section 8. I screen them anyway. It doesn't matter. Here's why. Section 8 doesn't screen tenants. That's not what they do. They just look at a family and say, okay, you fall into this bracket for low-income housing, so we'll get you on a government supplement plan for payment for your rent. But they don't screen tenants. That's your job as a landlord. So if you're scared about tenants tearing up your properties or not paying, the first method you must do, which most people don't do a good thorough job, is screening the tenants. You need to screen the tenants whether on Section 8 or not. So just a key thing to remember. But you can't listen to the stereotypes, and you can't listen to the news, and you can't listen to people that don't know about real estate and talking about Section 8, and they have no clue about it. They're going to knock you out of your dreams, and you don't have an understanding. Understand how the Section 8 program works. It can work for your benefit as a landlord, and you could be very successful in this game of real estate and getting guaranteed income every single month. All right, if you like this video, please share it, put a comment down below, and if you haven't already, subscribe. See you in the next video.